WIFTBPM.
So this kind of music, we feed off of your vibe. So if you're feeling the music, we're going to feed off you guys, okay? All right?
Yeah, you can start dancing.
So please enjoy, all right?
Welcome to the green side of things. Woo! What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Cassiopeia, how you feel?
Alafia.
Ooh, Alafia.
Oh,
yeah, peace.
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 Peace and blessings.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're in this room with Sadeek
and Cassiopeia.
Yeah, we got a great show for you guys today. Was that powerful or what?
Come on now, bringing in the energy.
The energy.
You know.
Ancestral energy.
Yes.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Yes. Oh my God. Adupoe fa. Adupoe obatala.
Obatala.
Adupoe oshun. Adupoe my ancestors. Oh.
Yeah.
Adupoe.
Feeling good.
Sadeek.
You know, I got the, you know, I'm working on it.
I thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. Adupoe we thank you. We thank you, Fa. We thank God.
I got
it. We thank Obatala. We thank Oshun over my head. We thank our ancestors.
What we need. Say it in the mic.
Your phone up, turn it down.
No, that's got to be, that's not my phone.
Is it this?
Is it the other phone? Is it all off now?
The laptop, it's off.
The laptop's off. Everything's off.
Okay, it's gone now.
Okay, all right. All right.
Woo!
Peace, brothers and sisters.
Peace. Come on into the room,
come on in the
honey.
room. Come on in the room. We have a great show for you today.
We do.
Welcome again. Welcome to the green side of things.
Yes.
You're sitting in with Sadeek
and Cassiopeia.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was really good. Even though, you know, the snow, right? It's kind of one of those things, you know, a lot of people in Chicago talk about how, man, it's not like it used to be when we grew up. It was always snowing. You know, we were used to it. Now everybody gets all funky when it starts to snow or whatever. But we like got a regular, good old Chicago
right?
Snow.
Did Chicago go soft? Yes. I'm asking the Chicago, right?
Chicago went
soft.
I went soft with it.
Oh, you went, so you're acknowledging it, right?
I was supposed to go somewhere. I turned around.
Okay.
Because we was hitting the road right when it was blizzarding. And I also say this.
Blizzarding? That's wild.
I make up words.
I got it. I love it though. I'm using it. I'm stealing it.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm blizzarding later on.
We're blizzarding.
If you hear me say it, I got it from Cassie.
I'll say that, like, the snow was reminiscent, right?
Right.
But the streets not being paved or being shoveled
right.
was not.
Yeah.
Right? That is the only thing that I'll say was great about Daley. He had them trucks ready.
Well, in Chicago, shoveling the snow could make or break a mayor.
You got that right.
Shoveling, having the street shovel could make or break an administration.
Yeah, we could care less about all of that. Schools,
trash could be overflowing. Do not shovel this snow
because that's something we feel.
Right.
That was, I work out daily.
Right.
I didn't have to work out because I was outside literally for an hour and a half, 2 days in a row. First day, just shoveling out our sidewalk in the front. And then the second day when I decided to go back out and I had to shovel out and then out of that parking spot and then get my chairs to put in my space because I shoveled that thing.
That's old school Chicago.
Listen, they put Bernie Sanders into shovel spaces.
I want to see it so bad. Bernie Sanders posters sitting in the chair.
Yes, it's the best.
It.
He is in a shoveled out space.
Hey, look, everybody. I see you coming in the room. We need you to like, comment, and share the conversation.
Yes, Alafia. I see Baba Fabamila is in the room.
Yeah.
Baba, tag everybody. We are talking.
Yeah, tag everybody. Share the broadcast. We want to fill it up. We've got an awesome show for you today. We're going to dig into some spirituality. We're going to dig into some African history.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about African religions today.
Yes.
So, on the green side, we're going to turn it totally green today.
So I'm seeing I want my numbers.
Yeah.
I need 30
Talk to
people.
him, Cassie.
I need 30 people right now into this room. Listen, last week we came and we talked about, would you move to Africa? Now we're talking about African spirituality. Y'all know y'all want to know more.
Yeah, you got to know more.
Listen, it's okay to be black now.
Yeah,
okay?
It's okay. You can come out.
It's really okay. You can come out. You can be obvious. You can be obviously black. You can say, I want black businesses. I want to say Black Lives Matter. I want to say black. Look, Google now is trying to take the blackmall.com's job, and they got a whole little thing on there.
They're working on it.
That says black. Just give the Black Mall its money so that we can then disperse it to the rest of our community.
I want black whipped cream.
Shit, I don't. That's stupid.
Thank you, Cassie. Ryan, what's up? I'm going to shift to my man, Ryan.
Go too far with the black stuff.
What'd you say?
How y'all feeling today?
Now, she said black everything, but when Sadeek wants a little black whipped cream, now he can't have it. Cream. Right, and now I'm over the top. It's too much.
You going to eat some black whipped cream?
Well, I don't even like whipped cream.
Oh, well, we're going to leave that alone, too.
Listen, black encompasses all aspects of the rainbow.
Yeah.
All colors are beautiful. Even white. Just not in white skin superiority complex way.
I'm just talking about whipped cream.
I know.
That's
you
all.
want your whipped cream to be black.
It's fine. It's okay. You
about,
shot me down.
How about
I don't want
some
it.
black olives.
No, just
on your
I don't want
sour cream.
No. I'm done. You already. It's too late.
People.
It's too late.
We know the black bar used to come with the tissue, right? We was really pushing the
black toilet paper, the black
like,
tissue.
And literally, when I would say we got black on tissue or whatever, they would literally people were dead ass serious, and they say, "Is it black?" And I'd be like,
I remember that.
On my face.
That's like when I actually had somebody ask me, "Do you use vegan corn?" Okay.
Oh, baby.
All right.
Oh, baby.
No, that was a real question.
Oh, baby. Now, maybe what they meant was, do you
I'm not buying it.
GMO?
I'm not buying it.
Because, there is an issue.
She's so balanced. She's so balanced. No,
organic.
No, that's not what they meant either. That's not what they meant.
Oh, baby. They thought
because they clarified it. They asked like 3 times.
They thought, what?
So I see Alvin out there. He says he remembers Harold Washington in the snow truck. Yeah, Harold was on this business. Speaking of blackness, it's Black History Month.
It's Happy Black
History Month. Yeah.
Yes.
Black everything.
The kickoff to Black 365.
Black everything.
All black everything except whipped cream. I keep my whipped cream white.
I can't have my black whipped cream.
I'm going to keep my teeth white.
Oh, definitely. I don't want any black teeth.
I don't want no black teeth.
Don't want any black teeth.
I want my eyeballs to be black, white.
No black teeth. Period.
I want my nail tips to be white.
No black teeth.
What else you want to be white? Ron.
No black teeth.
What else
Ron.
do you want to? As we black out.
No
the
black
world,
teeth, please.
What do you need to stay white?
That's a good question. I have to think about that.
I need everybody's teeth to stay white and filled.
I want my clouds to be white.
Unless you are Michael Strahan, no gaps.
Damn. He don't have a gap no more.
Yeah, he does. He left it.
He opened it back up.
He said it's part of his calling card.
Listen, he closed that thing.
Did he close it?
He must have opened it back up.
Michael, hit us on the green side. You know he watches us.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
That's my guy. Mike, hit us. We want to know why you closed the gap.
Oh, now y'all cool. Mike.
Brother
Hey,
Strahan. Mike, hit us up. Cassie want to
Please
know why you
do.
closed the gap.
I don't. Hey, I think he's great either.
Good
Whatever
morning,
he
America.
wanna
That's
do.
my guy. I got Patrick Mahomes though, so
He's
Super
he's
Bowl's
rooting
coming
for
no, he hadn't said yet.
he
But
hasn't
you know,
said.
they got to
I'm
pick sides
definitely-
based on ratings.
I love Mahomes.
Yeah.
I love him. Little
Super
Froggy.
Bowl, Black History Month,
That little brother right there is something else. He's something special.
however you want to put it. So
Okay, we at 24. I need 6
we got to keep
more.
going. We got to keep going.
I
Let's
need
get it up.
6 more.
Let's go. Let's go, guys. This is such a great conversation, and the brother that's coming on.
Alvin, I
what's
love
up?
it. He
What do you
put
say?
Cassiopeia. I can hear it.
You can hear it?
Brother Sadeek and Cassiopeia.
Hey, that's what's up. That's
I
our
love
man,
it.
Alvin, out there. A big shout out to What's in It for the Black people, media, watchers, followers, the audience. It's incredible.
I do. I love them. He does say, though, Alvin says, dye the snow red, black, and green, just like they dyed the Chicago River green for St. Patrick's Day. I want my snow to be white.
Yeah, I need the snow
We
to
can
be
do a
white, too.
section where we can make a flag somewhere, like maybe Washington Park.
Two, what's up? Two said. So
What Two
Tucson,
said?
one of the hosts of I Said What I Said Mike closed the gap, but I think Mike is a goofy.
That's not
wow, that's Mike.
Two, you
yeah,
go
Two.
so
You know
hard
he
now.
watches this show.
Two
You don't care though, do you?
Hard in the paint.
I don't care. So he
Cause you know,
doesn't
Two and
care.
Herb, like we got our followers. You know what I'm saying? We the best
So-
show on What's in It for the Black people media.
So I want to do, first of all, it's Black History Month.
Yeah,
And I want to shout out Carter G. Woodson,
right.
who is the founder of Black History. So it started as Black History Week.
Right,
And then it morphed into Black History Month.
right.
But it's because Carter G. Woodson kicked it all off. And Carter G. Woodson is a member of Phi Beta Sigma.
He is. His birthday is this month too, right? That's
Yeah.
why. So everybody always, sometimes we get people to be like, why they, this arbitrary they, why they put Black History Month in the shortest, coldest month in the year? Well,
Who is they?
They is a he. And Carter G. Woodson put it during this month because his birthday is in this month. I think Frederick Douglass' birthday is this month.
Oh, it's a lot of them.
Yeah, so it was significant.
It's not, Two would know. Dropping in, isn't Nat Turner this month? Or Nat Turner's
Really?
closer to something like that.
Tucson said, I like it white and cold, just like the people. I can't
Oh,
deal
wow.
with your
Okay.
ass,
So
man.
you all are really in here acting up already. So Cassie, we're gonna try, not gonna promise, but we do have a little known Black History fact
Okay.
for today.
Yes.
Little known Black History fact.
What are we trying?
Well, I want to try to do it. We're on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, we're gonna
so I want to try to do
some social
we'll
media
do some,
mapping.
Yeah,
and we'll have it already.
That's what I'm talking
so
about.
we can do it. We will do it. I'm gonna say to hold us accountable, guys. Because
Yeah.
guess what? We can find. I got facts in my
You
my
got them
fact
coming out
bag.
the wazoo, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I can
Okay.
just look in the fact bag, Black History fact bag.
So
and,
so
have
check it out.
something.
If you're familiar, drop this in the comments. Do you remember the Lone Ranger, Cassie?
In real time. Like
Well,
when it came on-
period. Real time or not real
I was being
time.
an
I
asshole.
know you were, but that's why I cut it off. I'm like, we're not finna go with the Sadeek. I remember the Lone Ranger actually in reruns
Okay.
because I'm not real time Lone Ranger
okay.
either.
Okay.
Not the black and whites.
Got it.
Yeah.
Were
I'm
you
not
real time with good times?
I was real time, good times. Yeah. I was real time, good times,
All in the
real
Family.
time, all in the family. Yeah, all of that.
The Jeffersons.
Real time.
Moving
Watching
on
it
up.
like new episode. The
Can't
premiere.
wait till next week.
Right. And next week, George and Wheezy Yeah, like that was me. Like just sitting there. But
no,
The
of
Lone
course
Ranger.
I know the Lone Ranger.
okay,
My
and then
grandfather
they did a movie remake.
They
They
did. I missed that.
It was horrible.
Oh,
I
that's
watched
probably
like the
why I
first
missed
5
it.
minutes. It was, but anyway.
Turn it off.
So
Now you got to turn the old one on just to get it back.
So in our little-known Black history, or not well-known Black history fact, did you know that 1 in 4 cowboys were actually Black men?
Man, listen, I think I have heard that before.
Okay, so
That's dope.
1 in 4,
25%
25% of
the
all
cowboys was black.
were Black men.
Nice.
Right? And so they're just, even though they don't portray it that way, obviously, in major media. But here's the, right.
Here he comes.
Why'd you eat the ice cream on the floor? I want to go eat it. So anyway, that's my Eddie Murphy coming out.
I love it.
Yeah. So here is a little known fact. Have you ever heard of Bass Reeves?
The outdoor company that's based out of like Tennessee or something.
No,
like that?
this is a brother.
Oh no.
This is a brother. So here's the fact, right? The real Lone Ranger was inspired by African-American man named Bass Reeves. Reeves was born a slave, but escaped west during the Civil War, where he lived in what was known then as Indian, Native American territory. He eventually became a deputy U.S. Marshal,
Really?
was a master of disguise, an expert marksman, and had a Native American companion, and rode a silver horse.
A silver horse. He's special.
High-hole silver.
Oh God!
And they took that.
Jokes that are coming to my head now. I don't want to
Yeah,
have
leave it
those.
alone
Black
because it's
History
a
Month.
Black history
This
fact.
is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
We'll do the jokes at the end of the show.
Okay.
Okay. He rode a silver horse, and so his name was Bass Reeves, and they took his likeness and made it into the Lone Ranger.
Wow, that's what they do. It's like Elvis.
That's what they do. I mean, who else could really get up with a Native American and have that close of a relationship with two individuals like that?
Man, and a silver horse.
And a silver horse.
And he was a U.S. Marshal?
U.S. Marshal,
was a-
master of disguise, expert marksman.
What do he disguise himself as?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to leave that alone. What's up, Tiger? I see you out there.
What's good,
We got
girl?
Africa Porter in the audience. What's up, Sister Africa?
We got Sissy in the audience. Sissy Perez, girl. We need our vegan tacos, honey.
Gotta have them. No
Yes.
doubt. But yeah,
Two
talking about
times
I want to hear the jokes.
Listen, but okay, right? This you talk about magic Negroes.
Uh-huh.
This is the most magical Negro I have ever heard be described before in my life.
With the silver horse.
He escaped slavery.
Uh-huh.
He became a U.S. Marshal.
Yep.
Somehow he's a master of disguise in a and at this point a majority white world.
They weren't doing background checks
He,
then.
he married a native, lived with them, married a native, and had a silver. This was a magical man, right?
He was
here.
doing it, wasn't he?
He was a Superman. Real
Right.
talk. Like I don't want to subscribe to black people overcome so much that we end up getting this whole magical Negro, stereotype like that we could just make everything turn all water into wine
but he
every
did it.
time. But he really sounds magical.
He really did it.
Like that was a powerful brother right
So
there.
y'all remember that name, Bass
Bass
Reeves.
Reeves. I'm
Right.
loving it.
Real live, real world.
We getting
black.
playback in the mic, you saying, Toussaint?
Ryan, are we getting playback?
Ron ain't got his
Ryan
headphones.
Ryan can't hear us. That's all right.
Are we getting playback in the mic?
No, okay,
No,
we're
okay.
good.
Okay.
So just watch it because Two said we getting playback.
Alvin said, "Pimp my horse. I can't deal."
Pimp my horse. Okay, y'all. So we got to do this. Soul Vegan is doing a Super Bowl pack just for the green side of things. You got to call them and say you heard about it on the green side of things. They're giving a great Super Bowl. If you want to try vegan food for the Super Bowl, you got to hit up Soul Vegan. You got to hit up Soul Vegan if you want to experience the vegan Super Bowl pack. It's for Super Bowl Sunday. It's for pickup only. You'll be able to pick it up on Saturday. If you call, they'll give you the details. I think pickup is like noon to 1.
Okay.
And it comes with 4 wraps. Okay, so you can get wraps. You can cut them in half. They have jerk steak, jerk tofu, unreal chicken. All of the wraps are wonderful. 2 containers of jalapeno cheese, which is to go with your order of buffalo wings, which are vegan drumsticks, all in that buffalo sauce that you can dip in the jalapeno cheese. And 2 containers of pasta salad, so you can spread it out.
Can I talk about the jalapeno cheese real quick?
You can talk about the jalapeno cheese. So we know. So that's the Super Bowl pack, and here's the number. I left the number out. I'll get it to you. We'll put it in the chat.
I put it in the chat.
Right.
In the comments.
Right.
I
In
dropped
the
it in the
comments.
comments. It's 773.
Oh, somebody did it already.
5768.
Okay.
Please let them call him right now. I love the
call him
jalapeno
right now.
cheese. I was eating it like it was a meal, and then I was like, wait a minute. I should not be doing this.
You ate the whole pack?
No, I stopped. I
was
did.
ready to say.
I'm like, I should treat
It's
this
good
like
though, isn't it?
cheese. It's really good. So I was just literally, and I was like, oh my God, all the calories.
It's literally my favorite. Do you know the commercial where they say I put that shit on everything?
Yeah.
That's what I do with the
Yeah.
jalapeno cheese. Sandwich spread, dip my vegetables in it, you like everything.
I made a vegan cream sauce, to make like kind of an Alfredo sauce with
Right.
noodles, and I put the
You were supposed to be
jalapeno
giving me
cheese
the
in.
recipe. Remember that?
Oh,
You told me.
I did tell you that
You did tell me
already.
that. Yeah.
I'll send it.
Okay. I'm just, send it when you get a chance. Send it when you get a chance. So I love it. I love it. Okay, guys, listen. We got about 4 minutes before the break. Cassie, you got to talk to him because they got to fill up the room. This brother that's coming in is super awesome. His name is Ruben Herrera.
Ruben Herrera.
Yeah, I can't do it as well as you.
You got Herrera.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you say it. Ruben, you gotta put it in the chat.
Roll your
Yeah, you
eyes.
gotta roll it. And he is an awesome brother. I met him. Actually, we met him together at the
Okay.
Bop Center, and he was out. They were doing work programs with young men, African Americans, and Latino men in Chicago. And he was looking for like a workforce development or mentorship type piece. Can't remember. He can clarify it. But he is an awesome, awesome brother. And we exchanged numbers those years ago, and we've been talking pretty much ever since because he's super dope.
It's a bromance.
Like, period. I wouldn't go that far. I don't know. I'm 50. I have problems with terms like that. I got to work on myself. I love him, though.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, listen, guys, when we come back, and Ruben is going to take some of the heat off of me because the title of the show, I got people commenting. People were dropping stuff in my inbox like, what you talking about?
Right.
Because, but that's actually what we discussed. And he was like, yeah, well, let's have a real conversation.
Let's do that.
Let's have a real
put it out there.
conversation. So, guys, we need you to
It's an
like,
open-ended question.
comment, share. We want to know your thoughts. We're going to talk about African religion today. And Ruben is a special guy because he identifies as Puerto Rican, doesn't necessarily identify as black. Right? Because I have friends that identify as both, right? And then has been integral in like really celebrating these traditions, his heritage, African roots, the whole 9 yards. And I love the conversation. So I can't wait till
Let's do
he
it.
comes in. Yeah, let's have it. So we need everybody to like, comment, share the broadcast. When we come back from the break, we're going to be talking to Ruben. Come on, Cassie.
Herrera.
Say it again.
Ruben Herrera.
I love that. Ruben, we're going to let Cassie say your name the whole time. All right. So guys, come on in the room, bring your lunch or take the phone or your laptop or whatever into the lunchroom because you're at home. It's COVID. We know you're at home working.
Right.
So take a break. We're going to take a break. And then on the other side, we're going to talk with
Ruben Herrera.
about these African religions, these African gods. You're on the green side of things with Sadeek.
At Cassiopeia.
We'll catch you after the break.
All right.
WIFTVPM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
So this kind of music, we feed off of your vibe. So if you're feeling the music, we're going to feed off you guys, okay? All right?
Yeah, you can start dancing.
So please enjoy, all right?
Welcome back to the green side of things. You are in with Sadeek
and Cassiopeia.
And now we have our brother,
Ruben Harena.
Ruben, is she saying that right? Ruben, can you hear us? Do you have him muted?
Sorry about that. Ruben!
Can you hear me now?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome,
Ruben, is she saying that right?
Yes, she is. She's saying it just fine.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Say it again.
Harena.
I love it. I love it. You got Leo out there like, her voice gives me chills. That's another show. We'll be doing that Thursday. But we're going to stay spiritual right now.
Yes, we are.
What's happening, my brother?
What's going on? How you guys doing today?
Oh, man, we are well. We are well. We're seated in. Listen, everybody, we need you to share the conversation.
Yes.
Let's bring some people in this room because part of what we like to do on the green side of things is really open up conversations that don't make it to the mainstream.
Yeah.
They don't make it to the mainstream in any culture, really. White culture, black culture. I have to ask about Latino culture because I'm not as familiar.
Yeah.
But I think it's an undercurrent when you start talking about African religions, period.
Right?
Absolutely. Well, let me just say this to you, Ruben. Ekaro.
Hey, all right.
Lafayette. Thank you for joining us.
So, Cassie, tell us a little bit about who and what Ruben is.
Yes, absolutely. So Ruben is currently serving as an assistant professor and department chair of the Human Services Department at National Louis University. He earned a bachelor's degree in human services from Phoenix University and his master's degree in nonprofit management from Spertus College. Ruben has spent over 20 years working with youth in the city of Chicago. Ruben has mentored youth in the alternative school system and has been a part of managing and creating a large array of youth-focused programs across the city of Chicago that are still impacting communities. He is also a Lukumi priest, Olorisha, and is ordained in the secrets of Obatala. Ruben is a drummer and has been studying Afro-Puerto Rican, bamba, and plena music and dance since his teenage years. In addition, Ruben is a drum maker and has taught youth and adults throughout the city to make their own drums as a method of helping people reaffirm their own cultural identity. Everybody
Ruben is the man.
Come on now,
He
put
is
your
the
hands
man.
together. I need to see some clap emojis in the comments. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Brother Ruben.
So, Ruben, let's get this conversation started, right? African religion. Let's talk a little bit about the history of it from your perspective and from history in general, and then talk about how it ended up coming into your life. So let's go with this whole. We know that this West African, Central African, these born religions made their way through the West African slave trade into the Americas. So let's start there and talk a little bit about that for us.
Sure. I think it's important for us to understand that along with religion and spirituality, culture, traditions, we are impacted by the reality of the slave trade. We are who we are as a society, as a global society, much in part with the realities of our slaves and our ancestors who came over as slaves to what has been told to us is the New World. Although we understand that there's a lot of history that has shown us that Black people were on this continent way before the slave trade. I think that's very important for us to understand. For me, understanding our history, when I say our history, I'm talking about the human history, right? The human reality that we all live. Before we get into a race or cultural divides or any kind of nationalistic conversation, we have to understand that we are a human race, right? And we have all impacted each other, but no one has impacted the world more than that of the Africans. All right. Our African ancestors have left their footprint on the world. And as a result of the tragedy of slave trade, our ancestors, because they're so brilliant, right? They made that situation. They converted that. They transitioned it. They imagined something inside that bondage that ultimately has been what we today are experiencing as a beautiful living culture. Part of the reality is, as Africans came over from Africa, they weren't brought first to the United States, what we know today as the United States, but they first landed in the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
And our Caribbean brothers and sisters have shown that they have benefited from our African ancestors from the very beginning. Our culture, the way we do things, our traditions, our norms have all been impacted by our African ancestors, be it in Santo Domingo or Haiti, Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, South America. I mean, all of this continent today can experience Black culture, and it has to do with the reality of the slave trade. But more than that, it has to show, we have to understand that it is also a result of the resilience of our ancestors and the beautiful culture and memories that they brought with them.
So let's jump in. So we have this Yoruba influence, right? And we talk about Yoruba, we talk about Ifa, we talk about the Orisha, and then this traveling into the Americas, Central America, South America, North America, right? Talk a little bit about this travel, how this religion, maybe the orient of it, and then how it travels with the people and what they find when they get to the Americas.
Well, sure. I mean, I think it's important for us to understand that all of our African ancestors that were brought over in bondage came from all forms of society, and some of those ancestors who came over were religious folk, right? But you have to understand too is that when we talk about African religion, it's not like this thing that stands outside of us, right? That we find, right? In African traditions, that is part of who you are. Your spirituality and your religiosity is much a part of who you are, right? So we talk about Christianity and other religions where you find as you come, you start to develop as a human being, you find that religion, you come and you go into it. Our African ancestors, that was part of who they were. So many of those individuals that came during the time of slavery were priests, were followers of Ifa, were followers of other religions. We have voodoo, we have Hulu, we have Condomble, many different kinds of religions that we see today are a result of those individuals that came over. And their memory, which is important, right? They didn't bring any physical things with them, right? But they brought their memory. They brought their spirituality.
Wow, that's important.
They brought their ability to remember their culture and how to practice those cultures in the new world, right? So what happens when we're in bondage, when we're going through hard times? What's the first thing we look to? We look to our faith.
Yeah.
Our faith has informed much of who we have become as a human race, right? Especially here in this continent. So as the African slaves were brought over and they land in the Dominican Republic, which was Hispaniola at the time. That's one of the first destinations that they land in, right? And then later on, places like Cuba, which has been a epicenter for Black religion in this part of the world. I think that's really important for us to acknowledge. Obviously, there's other parts of South America and the Caribbean that have cultural and religious practices that are just as abundant as in Cuba, but Cuba has a very significant role in what we understand today to be the religion that is called Santeria, but we know that that's Regla de Ocha or Lukumi. Very important for us to distinguish those two things. But I think for the most part, we have to understand that all of this consequences is a result of the resilience and the creativity of ancestors.
I say. So, you've mentioned, of course, Lukumi, Candomblé, Vodun, Santeria, Ifa. What are the differences between all of these, I guess, kind of iterations of this West African spirituality?
Well, there are differences. I think that's important to acknowledge, right? All of them are not the same thing. Because to say that, then that would just kind of, say that all of our African ancestors were the same. And we're talking, there's all kinds of different tribes, all different kinds of ethnic groups, different realities, right? So Ifa is not voodoo. Okay, Santeria is not Condomble, right? They're different. There's similarities, right? But they're different. One is the most important similarity is that they believe in a Black God, right? I think that's important for us to understand. Right? We don't celebrate white gods. We understand that the Orishas, right, are Black entities, right? People who roam this world. Orishas are also came from heaven. These are Black images, right? So I think it's really important for us to understand that. But all of them, the similarities that they do have is the idea that our ancestors are still with us, right? And we give praise to ancestry, right? They're not separate from the Almighty God. They all are together, right? And I think that that's very much different from what we have experienced in religions such as Christianity, where we don't necessarily praise our ancestors or revere our ancestors. So I would say that's one of the common places that all these religions touch upon. One, that we understand that the God is black, right? And it looks like the people who praise them. And two, that we revere our ancestors. Very important traditions in those religions.
Yeah, I think that is super important, and I really think that this. Well, I don't think I know that this conversation is important because as a young black man growing up on the south side of Chicago, I was grown before I even had the concept of African spirituality, or the Orisha or black gods that looked, I mean, there was a conversation. Again, I'm born in the 70s, so certainly the conversation that Jesus was black, right? So again, this is through this colonial sphere. You got to fight with these images, but now beneath the surface, there's this whole celebration of these black African images, gods who reflect you, who you are, and there's no doubt about or fight about, their color, what they reflect, where they come from. It's like they're black, they're African, this is spirituality. And I was a grown man before even realizing that. So I think that this conversation about bringing this, what these images, these guys bring to the table, I think is huge. Just even to know, even to have the conversation is important.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got a question.
Okay.
Should, right, since they have a certain image and likeness, should they only be worshipped by those who have that same image or likeness?
My quick answer is no. They're here to be revered by all of us. If we want to get technical with it, we all come from Africa, right? As another, all man came from there, right? Our first forms of spirituality, any kind of idea of what religion became, starts there. And it would be a shame for us to think that we can only honor orishas or black gods if you are black. I don't subscribe to that. I believe that the orishas understand things on a different sphere, right? A different realm. We've kind of limited ourselves to what we look like, right? Our skin color or where we come from. But it's important to understand that Orisha doesn't see that. Orisha sees deeper into you. They see the spirit, right? And we all come from heaven, right? In our religion, Ifa talks about a heaven, right? Where God is there, Olodumare. We refer to God as Olodumare.
Olodumare.
Right, and we speak with Olodumare. We all ascend from that. We all come from that. We only realize these limitations here on earth. And I have to say, those are true limitations. And those limitations have been used against us as human beings on this earth to divide us, to make us think that one is better than the other, right? And those are misnomers. That's a problem. And I know that the conversation that me and Sadeek have been having has been around, these differences, right? Should Latinos, should white folks, should people who are not black practice black religions? And I would say if there was a problem with it, we would know it already. I think that Orisha would have told us, right? And I think that's not a conversation that we need to have necessarily on a spiritual realm. All right, that's a limited conversation. But we have it here because we are products of the human condition. So we talk about those things. And it's an important question. Don't get me wrong. It's an important question because we're on this plane. We need to deal with that. So I would say no. I think all people should be able to embrace African religions. I certainly do.
Well,
yeah, I love that. No. I really appreciate that that perspective. Did you have a question? Because I got
do.
another. Okay, go ahead.
So then my next question is it what's the viewpoint on African people, Black people practicing other religions outside of African spirituality?
Well, I mean, I think that we have to understand why that is. I mean, I think the deeper question you're asking is why Black folks are not practicing Black religions or praising more Black religions, right? I mean, what's going on there, right? We have a long history, right? Black people have a rich culture, right? And why aren't they connected more with Black religions? And my quick answer to you is easy. We're talking that is a byproduct of colonialism, right? I mean, we are products. We are, all of us. We are products of the colonial mentality. We sit here and we ask ourselves questions such as these. You know, why aren't Black folks practicing more Black religions? Why are these people practicing that? The reality is that we are products of that colonial mentality. And part of what happens is that through colonialism, one of the first things that is stripped of us is our culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Black people have been the products of that for over 400 years. And we need to understand that that's something that is generational. Black people have been getting stripped of their identity, their culture, their religious practice for generations and generations and generations, right? So it makes sense that through that process, through that practice, you know, we're going to take from a colonial mentality, we're going to take away what's most precious to you. What gives you strength? What gives you direction? What gives you purpose? We're going to take that from you, right? Because once you lose that, then you lose a sense of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to put you in this process of constantly trying to search for who you are when you should already know that, right? So it's a question of divide, conquer. It's a question of control. But I will tell you this much. Recent research shows us that African Americans, Black folks in this country, are moving more and more towards Black religions.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking to rediscover their ancestry. They're looking to recover and rediscover their spiritual practices. So this is on an uptick right now, and I think that I as a Lukumi priest, as a person of color, I believe that it is important for all people of color to go on that search, looking for that belongs to them.
Ashe.
Yeah, Ashe. I really appreciate your perspective. So, what I want to do is take a teaching moment. Take us on a journey, Ruben, really quick. You talked about Olodumare, right? You brought up the Orisha. Right. Take us through the Orisha, right? These deities, right, that interact or personify natural forces,
Mm-hmm.
and talk a little bit about that part, so people can not only tune in, and we're having it. This is the way to me to kick off Black History Month, right? Speaking to these spiritual forces, but talk about how the Orisha, who are they? Right, so some may be a little more known than others, like Shango, right? Oshun. But talk about the Orisha. You know, kind of go through them, tell us about them, and then just tell us a little bit about how they interact and how they spiritually impact the world. If you could do that.
And real quick, I see you got those Oshun Eleke as well.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, Cassie, who are you partial to?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, Mama
yeah.
Oshun is over my crown.
Oshun is over her crown, so she gonna say Oshun all day. But go ahead, Ruben.
And that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. That's good. But the pantheon of Orishas is, I think, important for us to understand, is vast, right? And it's even larger than what many of us who are practitioners know.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, a lot of information has been lost over time. Even our brothers in Africa are continuously searching for information, for more knowledge. But I think that there's a foundation, right? There's a group of Orishas that are very popular to the foundation of a lot of our spirituality. And I think that it's important for us to acknowledge who is considered to be the father of the Orishas, and that is Obatala, right? Obatala is um, he's recognized as all things white, right? He's also recognized as all things that are of peace and purity, right? He's also recognized as that of the mind, right? His domain is the mind, and he's the one who keeps us finding our peace, right, and our tranquility in life. He's also about justice, right? His colors are white. Um, then we also have um, Oshun, and I think it's important to speak on Oshun because Oshun's probably next to Chango, probably the most popular Orisha that everyone speaks of. And a lot of that has to do because Oshun represents sexuality, she represents femininity, she represents love, right? All of the things that as human beings,
Healing,
all of that, community healing,
wealth.
right? Very important. Oshun is very much about community healing, uh, and family. Right, these are very important, intricate things that all of us as human beings we can identify with. And Oshun represents those things. He represents all things that are sweet.
Mm-hmm.
We attribute all these things to Oshun. Um, but then we also have orishas such as Yemaya or Yemoja, and
Mm-hmm.
Yemaya is the mother of the orishas. She is the one who births us. She gives us life. And Yemaya is a force, as much as any mother is when her children are in danger. Uh, there's nothing else like the force of a mother who comes to protect her children. And Yemoya, she personifies that. She is the caring, she is the tenderness, she is the protector of all of us. We also have Chango. Chango is probably one of the most, if not the most famous male deity amongst the Orishas. And like you said, I mean, we talk about Oshun and all that she represents. Chango is very much that as well, and all those
Yeah.
things.
Yes.
But Chango, they kind of touch, we talk about human traits. Chango is always considered to be the ladies' man, if you will, the dancer, the one all the time, right? But we have to understand too,
The king.
Chango, yes, the king, but we have to understand that Chango also represents loyalty.
Yes.
He is a loyal Orisha, and so are his children. Um, Loyalty is very, very big with Chango, but also is justice. Justice is also a big.
Yeah.
He's the one who we call on. He's a warrior. We call on him to fight our battles. Chango is very much revered in the pantheon of the Orishas. Um,
BAC.
Cabiosile, that's right. And I would say to touch on another Orisha, I think is really important. All of them are, by the way. Excuse me for saying that, but all of them are. But another Orisha that is really popular is Orula. Orula or Orumila is an Orisha who is one is wisdom. When we talk about wisdom, we talk about divination, divining.
Yes.
He has a very important role in helping us practitioners of Ifa, Lukumi, Candomblé, and all these religions who revere Orisha. He is one who helps guide us in our destiny. He's the one who reveals that to us. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Elegua.
Woo!
Nothing.
Crossroads.
There's nothing that can be done without Elegua.
Yes.
Elegua walks with us always, and he is that one Orisha that will walk with you through whatever. And I have my godfather and godbrother. We always talk about how Elegua is something else because he's considered a trickster, right? But more than that, he's your ride or die. I'll put it that way. He's the ride or die. He's the one who will go with you through the good choices you make and the not so good choices that you make. And he'll tell you, let's do this. You want to go that route? Let's go. Elegua is very, very important. He's also personified as the child, right? As the young energy amongst the Orishas. But like I said, there are many, many Orishas. But for the most part, those are orishas that we talk about regularly. Many people know who they are. And each one of those orishas is important to understand that they're connected to not only something biological, right, but also to as far as nature is concerned. They all have their realms.
So Ruben, let's do this. Let's talk about nature and how they're connected to nature, the water, the wind, the crossroads, the earth. Let's do that on the other side of the break, okay? Listen, everybody, this is a great discussion, conversation, period. You're on the green side of things with Sadeek
and Cassiopeia.
We need you to like, comment, and share. Bring some more people in the room. We're talking with Ruben. Say it, Cassie.
Herrera.
We're talking with Ruben Herrera. We're talking African Black spirituality, and we're going to see you on the other side of the break.
WIFTBPM.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
We wake up every day to these tests as we strive to be great, and they keep coming, but we gotta persevere, y'all. Yeah, thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you out? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captain. Which one of you out? Thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you out? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captain. Every minute I fight with lethargy, striving to be godly, with an intelligence quotient exceeding numerology. Scholar body honorary, school of prophet alum, anthropomorphized lessons so I could become the heartbeat of righteousness. The everyday fight to pump the blood of kings, breathe the breath of life, moving up like Confederates in Yankee territories in the 17th century. But it's a thin line between divinity and iniquity. Mason Dixon hitting incomplacent decisions, division between symptoms of a phenom and a psychopath, gifted and asinine. I won't erase that vertical line on an incline that divides them. Climbing out this box in my mind, it's like having altitude sickness on alpine expedition. Genius vision never fixed in on the depth below. Focus on elevation where others never dare to go. And brainiacs ain't contained in that receptacle. Incredible creative energy becomes perceptible. The cerebral can be an evil alter ego, a true pal, and you shall become legendary and futile. Development of a god. I sleep between dates on the calendar. Can't escape a date with a challenger. Now that's a blind date in the field division, but my other senses reveal I'm winning. Yeah. The thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you out? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captain. Which one of you out? Thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you out? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captain. Which one of you out? The first victories are internal, then external. The inner fight, sheltered by tissue and epidermal, fighting for the Holy Spirit to manifest through physics, working to boost this performance through physical fitness. Sees the drive towards greatness within. Mediocrity begins the extinction of potential in men. Time becomes fossilized, energies occupied, trying to survive with a 9 to 5 or a 5 to 5 for overtime, under time management by the bandit. Energizing his expansion like fossil fuel for the think tank, driven by your nemesis in the duel for your medulla to influence your lineages. I think out the box like addiction to prescriptions and limitless. Without the NCT dependencies, high percentage of brain power's already hitting in, and ordinary men can't activate it within the bin. I'd be demented if I can't live this. Tormentors accepting that Negro existence. I'm a regenerative scholar. No blue collars on my wardrobe, fighting to be an immortal martyr. They never pass us away, fulfilling the dream of Donnie Hathaway, of being free today. And if it be's Yah's will, manifestations I made on the planet where we stay, putting truth on display all day.
Yeah, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one are you after?
I'm gonna get my song. Sherelle, drop me. I need Sherelle to drop
Mind of
me
a captive. Which one are you after?
Yes.
Welcome back to the green side of things. You with Sadeek
and Cassiopeia.
But listen, let me say this real quick. And we're talking with Ruben Harena. I said it. I got a little bit on that one. So we're talking with this brother who is phenomenal. Yeah. But I want to say this: the viewership is wild. You know why?
Why?
I think that like the numbers shot right back up to like almost 30 when we were about to come on. I think everybody dipped to get a sandwich.
They get their sandwich, man. And then
they left the room and came right back in. So shout out to you all. But we
about to live for that break now,
yeah, exactly, right? So we need you all to continue to like, comment, and share. Share the conversation because this is important stuff. You know,
yeah.
I mean, it really is. It really is.
It's so beautiful, you know, that, again, Black people are embracing our authenticity and not being ashamed of our roots and where we come from, and that we're removing all of those stereotypes that have been put on us for hundreds of years. And now we're like, okay, give it to me. Let me learn more.
Yeah.
You know, and it also, what I hear is that, you know, even people who are, you know, very, very faithful Christians and, you know, they follow this practice like, man, I'm still missing something.
Yeah,
I know that there's something
out there.
Missing.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we need to just open our mental capacity, right? To just let it come in and open our awareness. So
yeah, so I'm grateful, you know, for Ruben coming on here and then even talking about how our spirituality has impacted all of the Americas, of course the world as well, but specifically, you know, our root here and how it's come down, you know, across the Americas to all of our people and all of our beauty and our color spectrum.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And our nationalities.
All of that.
Right. Because there's a difference between a nationality and an ethnicity and a race. So, you know, I'm really excited. And I just thank you, Ruben, for, you know, starting to break down only some of the Orishas. I got a shout out to Chrissy because she was like, oh yeah. I do pray, oh yeah. And then we want to kind of continue the conversation now. And so we got a nice little introduction to some of the Orishas, some of the more well-known ones, well-known Orishas. Right. There are, I believe,
because it's a pantheon of just the number, and depending on where you are, infinite. The names morph depending on, you know, so
they do.
This is just a basic, you know, we're not trying to overwhelm anybody.
Absolutely not.
But I wanted to talk about, if you get a chance, Cassie, wanted to talk about the natural forces engaging with Obatala, Oshun, Iminya, right? Shango.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we know that they are, you know, they represent something larger. They're not just regular humans like the rest of us. They represent the universe working together. And I think Audrey even put it, she stated, such a powerful topic. Can you speak to how Orishas play a role in the wholeness of spirituality and health? And then also, of course, in nature. So can you break that down for us? Baba Ruben Harena.
Say that again.
Baba Ruben Harena.
I love it.
Well, no, I would say that there's definitely a link with the Orishas with nature. There's no question about that. And, you know, each Orisha has a realm that they would say they guard over. That's one way of putting it. But Orisha is intricate, not only in our consciousness, subconsciousness, and our spirituality, but they are also play a relevant role in our biology, in our body, right? Every part of our body, there's a representation of Orisha. has a realm of so everything white in our body, our bones, our teeth, so for men, semen, right? All things that are white, the brain, all these things are governed by Obatala, right? And then you have the parts of our body, other organs that are like our kidneys, for instance, that are connected to Oshun, right? Our womb that's connected to our mama Yamaya, right? Our heart, Okan, Chango, there's no question, right? Our feet, when we talk about our feet, right? We travel with all those. How do we get to the crossroads with our feet, right? Physically, and also looking at it in a spiritual way. How do we get to our place without Elegua, right? So the Orishas have a role in all of us, in all of our biology, right? And as in nature, we talk about the oceans, right? We talk about the rivers. We have to talk about Yamaya, Ochun, Oba, right? These are orishas that are connected to those parts of nature, right? We talk about the forest, we talk about woods, we talk about Ogun, right? These are places that they govern, that we connect to them, right? We talk about the sky, we talk about Obatala, right? We talk about Odua, right? These entities, these orishas that are all around us in nature. Right? We talk about the wind, the power of the wind. We talk about Mama Oya, right? We talk about fire. We talk about Chango. Right? These things are really important, and because it is a reaffirmation of how much we are connected to nature. Now, this is part of why we lose sometimes our own spirituality. I believe that we begin to lose our spirituality when we lose our connection to nature. Right? And I think that's very important. And once we start losing our connection to nature, then as a result, we start to lose connection with ourselves and our love for self. And how does that manifest itself? By the way we do or don't take care of our health. Right? Right. So these are all interconnected pieces. Right? The Orishas are constantly reminding us we cannot do anything in our religion without connecting in some way, somehow to nature. Right? Nature is very much a part of everything we do, right? I look at my backyard and there's a huge tree back there. If I want to connect with my ancestors, where am I going to go but to that tree with the roots that connect all the way down into the ground, right? And that tree that goes high up into the heavens, right? So those things are real. And I think that one of the things about African spirituality is that it makes a clear connection that for us to understand ourselves from our spiritual selves, our physical selves, right, our biological selves, we need to understand our connection, our immense, important connection to nature.
Yeah. Listen,
I love that.
It's super, super deep. I mean, you got the comments lighting up. People are here like, oh my God, my sister, my girl that went to high school with me, Audrey Tanksy, she's a doctor, so she is just loving this. She talked about the connection to nature and to our biology, and that when we're out of order, it manifests as disease. And actually, to kind of speak a little bit more to that, my Baba Fabamila, we did it.
Shout out, Baba.
Shout out to Baba. He's in the comments too and tagging people. Thank you, Madupwe. We did a reading in regards to COVID. And, a lot of people were like, there's a lot of conversation about it being conspiracy and, or a pandemic and everything. And I get that. And I think there has been leverage by the government about COVID. But when we did the reading, it was like, no. COVID is very real. And this is the time that we should be worshiping Babaluaye, who is over disease and the fact that our earth was out of balance.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
And we weren't in balance with the universe, with this earth. And so therefore disease is going to come to put things back in balance. And we pray to protect all of us and our families to ensure that, we remain safe and healthy throughout this time.
And we'll go back into this, and this is related to the topic. Mm-hmm. But I'm actually writing an article because I think one of and Ruben, you and Cassie got to the heart of this. I think one of the things that we have to get back to that we deviated from as a people was not necessarily going into monotheism, but I think we went into monotheism. And that's a phrase that I'm trademarking.
You're coining it?
I'm coining it. Monotheism, because what it did was give us a relationship to a man as opposed to the elements in nature.
Yeah.
And so you feel disconnected, right? You don't have a relationship with the trees, so you cut them down. You don't have a relationship with the soil, so you erode it. You don't have a relationship with the wildlife, so you take them out one by one. So because, religion moved into monotheism as opposed to a relationship with nature. But that is the same thing you were talking about. And I think that's huge as we return to a collective cooperative consciousness with the elements that are around us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I resonate really highly with that.
Can I speak to something that kind of relates a little bit? It's a little off, but it's in line.
Yeah, please.
So we're here in Chicago, and as we talk about, especially I think our Black people here being disconnected from nature, so much so that it's hard for us to even fathom that like food comes from the ground, like produce literally comes from the ground. So, there's these berries that are very, I think, unique to Illinois and Chicago, and they're trees. And back in the day, we used to see these little berries. They almost look like little tiny blackberries everywhere. Right? Y'all are everywhere.
They would make marks on the concrete.
They would make marks. The dye from
the juice of the berry.
So, what would happen if you would try to go up and reach and eat it? What would somebody say?
Don't eat that.
Don't eat that.
But they're perfectly healthy for you.
They are actually really good for you.
Yes.
They taste actually sweeter than blackberries.
Yes, they're wonderful.
And
you know how I know?
Everywhere. Because
I didn't listen.
You didn't listen. So that's how we can't even fathom even feeding ourselves, because we've been so disconnected from nature, so disconnected from our spirituality that you didn't even you could be hungry and you would
food
touch
growing all
that
around
berry.
you. It's food
and
growing all
the
around
crab apples that were around. But guess what? Now we don't even hardly see them. All the pesticides and the fact that we aren't engaged with them anymore is damn near killing them. You don't even see. You can't even try to feed yourself if you wanted to now.
That's true. That's true. So that's not even kind of related. That's hitting the nail on the head. Nail on the head. So Ruben, let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about how you became exposed. You became a priest. You, because I don't want to assume, were you born and raised this way? Did you find out from somebody? Like, how does this intersect with your life? This finding of these native African realities, spirituality, and religious concepts. How do you in Chicago or where you were born and raised, how do you meet this? How does this come into your life?
Well, I'll be honest with you. This hasn't always been a part of my life. For as many of us here in the city and in the United States, I grew up Christian, and I was all into Christianity. And I even contemplated becoming a priest in that religion. But that was during a time where I had a lack of consciousness about what it meant to be Puerto Rican. And I think you have to understand the tie between those things, right? Our cultural identity, which our spirituality, very much is intertwined. And I think that a great example of that is when I began to learn my culture. A question was posed to me. I was about 18 years old, and the question was, what does it mean to be a Puerto Rican? And I didn't have an answer. And I remember the feeling of embarrassment because up until that moment, I thought that I knew what it meant to be Puerto Rican, because I was definitely saying I was proud to be Puerto Rican, but I didn't understand what it meant. And the best that I could do was say someone that's from Puerto Rico, which is true, but it's not the whole story, right? And once I started to dive into my history and my culture, I started to see the relationship between all of my ancestors, our indigenous ancestors, which were the Taínos, right? Our European ancestors that we can't deny, which were Spaniard and other Europeans, and then our African ancestors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once I realized that it was in order for me to truly understand what it meant to be Puerto Rican, I had to identify, I had to acknowledge every one of those ancestors.
I share. I
Deny,
That's
share.
powerful.
Yeah.
because to deny one of those would
Mm.
be to deny who I was as a
Come
Puerto Rican.
on. Come
So
on.
once I make that connection, and once I had the opportunity to really do some reflection about who I was and really what I was, I started to understand that my culture is enriched by our African ancestry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once I see that, I start identifying with it. Then I start asking the questions of what role do our Black ancestors play in our culture besides the music, right? And I'll be honest with you,
Right.
what brings me here is the drum. And I think that's very important for us to understand that the drum is the shared instrument of all people.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the world where you can go and not find a drum,
Right.
some form of the drum. So to understand that, and to understand that the drums originates in Africa, right? And everything outside of that is just a form or a replication of that.
Yeah.
Once I understand the importance of the drum in my culture, then I start asking questions about my ancestry, my African ancestry. And it only leads me to the question of spirituality and religion. Because wherever you find a drum, and wherever a drum is played, and wherever you hear a drum vibrate, there is undoubtedly a connection to your own spirituality. You can't deny that. The idea of moving when you hear a drum is not just because you want to have a good time, but you want to express yourself in the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? We want to find that freedom. We find it through the drum, right? Everyone can trace themselves back to that. That rhythm, that vibration is really, really important. So once I understood that and the connection that I personally had with the drum, right? Then I could start asking myself deeper questions about myself and my spirituality, which lead me to looking for something. And Cassie, you mentioned it earlier. So many of us have connected to some religion, right? Especially people of color. We say, Christianity, Catholicism, these are very influential in our cultures, right? In our reality. But it's still something missing, right? And that's the natural elements that we're talking about. The connection to nature, the connection to our ancestors, the connection to the culture that is so much reinforced by our spirituality, right? These things don't live alone, right? They live in connection with one another.
Yeah.
So through finding my own culture, right? Understanding those things, I start to find my religiosity and my spirituality through Lukumi and Ifa. Now, I will say this, it's very important. I always talk about this with young people who I work with all the time, right? Every one of us can find ourselves behind the drum. And those young brothers and sisters who are out here, who are looking for their culture, who are looking for a sense of who they are, I always tell them to start at the drum. And I promise you, if you start there and you take that serious and you internalize the importance of that drum in your life, you will find meaning and purpose, and you will find your identity behind it.
Wow, that's powerful. I'm sitting here. Listen, if you're out there, those of you that are in What's in It for the Black People Media Land right now, please share this conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
Share it right now. Somebody, they can watch it later, they can watch it right now. But I'm saying share this live, because Ruben is sharing a part of his heart, and he's sharing this cultural piece that I think we all need to just hear a little bit about, wake up our consciousness, and just understand a little bit more about who we are, as a global community.
Yeah.
And not just as Africans, but about this participation in this global consciousness and culture. So I just, I'm learning. I'm sitting here, I got like 6 pages full of notes, like they're flying off the table.
It's deep, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. So Ruben, we've got about, so first of all, we definitely have to have you back. And I say this about all our guests because, Cassie and I are both fans of having great conversations. We have to have you back because this is not the end of the conversation. We cannot do it all in an hour. So we want to continue the conversation at some point. But I want to talk a little bit. I want to wrap up because these can be touchy, cultural, limiting mental and physical experiences we have. When you start talking about black and brown culture, Latinos, people that aren't black worshiping African gods, right? In the Facebook ad for the show, I put, is it cultural appropriation? Even though that's part of the notes that you sent me. And then people were DMing me, not just putting comments. People were like, well, why would it be cultural appropriation, right? I was like, we going to ask Ruben.
Off with his head.
Because I didn't, right, exactly. What is this Negro talking about? So how does this intersect with black and Latino culture? And is it appropriation or is this something, how do you see it?
So you use the word culture. So I think that from that, my answer is no, it's not cultural appropriation. Because as Latinos, I just mentioned earlier, in order for me to be proud to be Puerto Rican, I have to be proud of my African ancestry.
That's
right?
right.
Even if it's from a cultural perspective, right? Now, there's two pieces here. There's the idea of race and the idea of culture, right? And some might say, you don't look black, you're white, and I might identify as white, right? I mean, I feel that I have the right to identify as a black man, right? You might do a genealogy trace on me, and there may not be no black people in my genealogy, right?
Negative.
Culture.
Cassie sitting over here like, nah, you black, bro. But go ahead, keep going.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
You can say that, you can make that argument, but culturally speaking, you can't, because everything in my culture, the large majority of my cultural expressions as a Puerto Rican man, as a man of the Caribbean, right, is black. Right? And the food that we eat, the words that we say, the music that we listen to, that is how awesome and amazing our African ancestry is. Wow. And it has impact. It's just another testament to the awesomeness of our African ancestry. And we need to understand that that's a place for us to start a conversation from. Most of the conversations are starting from a divisive one, right?
Right.
It needs to be starting from a place of commonality. Right. And there's been times I've shared with Sadeek, he's come out, he supported some of my events that I've been a part of. And you see our people. We are all shades. Right. And for us, that to talk about Orisha, to talk about black gods, that is so ingrained in our culture that when you say something like that, it does shock people, especially people from the Caribbean and Latin America. We're like, what do you mean? This is who we are.
Right.
As good as I may be, as dark as we may be, we understand that is a cornerstone of who we are. So, no, I don't agree that it's appropriation. And I don't subscribe to that because I understand that this is part of what fills me and my people every day.
That's it.
I love it. I love it. We gotta cut it right here.
Yeah.
We gotta cut it right here. This is so powerful. Ruben, will you come back and talk to us?
Of course. I'd be honored to come back and talk to you both, and also to the audience. I think that it's important for us to understand that these are the formats that need to be happening in our community, the conversations that need to be happening in our communities. And I don't have a problem diving into this idea of Latinos and blacks and where we're divided and where we come together, because those are conversations that we shy from and we shouldn't, especially as people of color. We are obligated to be having these conversations.
You know what, man, it's powerful. And look, and I'm drafting somebody because Leo is my Facebook friend. He's a priest as well, and he didn't know I was gonna call him out. But type in the comments if you're willing to come on the show. I think we're gonna do a panel. We're gonna put Ruben on. We're gonna put Leo on, and then we're gonna get Baba Faba Million.
Oh, I shit.
Baba, if you still listening,
I shit.
yeah, Baba, if you still out there, type if you're willing to come on. Yeah, he said he'd love to do it. So we got to continue this conversation.
WIIFTBPM.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So that's the obvious point. We gotta go to the break. So let me do this. Ruben, vegan pasteles. I love Puerto Rican food, but I'm vegan, so I gotta have it. I ask you about it every time. I'm doing it on the air because I want to put some more pressure on you. We gotta do the round table. When we come back from the break, we're gonna be talking about vegan foods. Right, we're gonna have a little more spirituality talk because we gotta come down from this. We want to say thank you, my brother, but we do have to take this station break. Stay with us. You're on the green side of things with Sadeek
And Cassiopeia.
and we've been talking to Ruben Reina. And we'll see you on the other side.
WIIFTBPM.
Hey Chicago, you know we've all been impacted by COVID, especially in our communities. Help protect Chicago. We need everyone to stay safe and get the facts about the COVID-19 vaccine. Visit the What's in It for the Black People Media Facebook page and www.chicago.gov/COVIDVax for the facts.
Tune in every Sunday. Don't miss it. Live from the West Center for the Black People Media Studios. It is the Kickoff Kickback. Join the conversation with the brothers, Eugene McIntosh, Herb Howard, and myself, Terrence Tomlin.
We got analysis live from the stadium. The brother Joe Lewis will be following through. We got great guests coming in, players, personnel, people.
Say what? We do our thing every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, taking you right up to kickoff.
We picking the full slate of NFL games. We talking fantasy football. Gino got you covered on all the bets. It's a kickback.
Make sure y'all join the conversation. Smash that like button, smash that share button, and continue to help us push the culture forward.
Don't miss it every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, live here from the West Center for the Black People Media Studios.
So this kind of music, we feed off of your vibe. So if you're feeling the music, we're gonna feed off. So please enjoy, all right?
Welcome back to the green side of things with Sadeek
and Cassiopeia.
Yeah. I mean, it's just something about, like Ruben said, it's something about those drums and the song and our cultural. You cannot deny the Africanness of that.
No.
The calling of that. you
Just
cannot
do something to
deny
your
the
spirit,
you
baby.
know, the spirit of that.
Yes.
And so as we continue to go on, I just want to say again, thank you to Ruben.
Yes, thank you, Ruben, so much for sharing.
And for all of you all, we hope that you all come on, stay in the room.
Yes.
Stay in the room with this last half hour. We want to talk a little bit about, you know, Cassie was talking about this food growing all around you.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, you know, we keep plants front and center. At least we work to.
Yeah.
And so we have a young man with us, and I say young because everybody's young. I may be a couple years older than his brother, so he is definitely a young man. But he was an avid What's in It for the Black People media watcher.
Yes.
And we had a little show that decided to come in called The Green Side of Things.
Yes.
And we started talking about diet, and we started talking about different things, and we started talking about the January jump off.
Come on.
And Cassie helped me sit down and put it together, and we got it together, and we talked about it. And this was one of the first people who said, I'm in.
Yes.
And then we had to go. We went on, the station retooled, so we were off the air a little longer than we planned. And the brother missed the announcement that we were going to start a few days behind, but he was so intent on starting in January that he started January 1st, right? Literally, he didn't wait for the 10th. He started on the 1st. And Brother Shaka Strong, who is just an awesome testament to jumping in and giving it a try.
Yeah.
Didn't know
absolutely.
we're gonna find out, because you know there can be all kinds of, I'm hesitant, I don't want to do this, but want to hear a little bit about Shaka's story, because we are working to get people in our February group.
Come on.
We want to do Black History Month meatless, and we want to go back to our roots, and that is definitely a double entendre. So Ron, you can join the February, because you know January
I thought you said March.
no brother, we're going straight into February. I mean, you could join in March too. We doing what? You gonna join February?
I'll start.
Okay, that's right. So we got Ron in. He's joining February. Brother Shaka, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
My brother. Yes, sir. Peace. It's great to have you. Talk to us, man. Talk to us about.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Boosie been waiting for you. I just wanted to say that. She was like, she came in and she was like, did I miss Shaka? I was like, no.
You didn't miss him, Bootsy. Here he is. So Shaka, talk to us, man. You are a very relatable brother. You have a great story. I don't know how many people know your story, but talk to us. Tell us how you found out about, well, I told it already, about how you found out about the January jump off, but tell us about your experience, but give us your story, man. Give us your story.
First and foremost, Black family, speak on it. Peace and guidance to everybody in the chat room.
Oh,
and thank you for allowing me to take a few moments to speak on this here. That is very important, not just for me, but for everybody, for every Black man and woman and child in America or throughout the world. We have to learn how to eat to live. Yes. We have to know how important it is that when we say those words, food for thought, when we say that, how to eat to live, it's not just words, it's reality. So I'm 49 years old. I'll be 50 in August. So Sadeek, you got me by a couple months, bro.
Hey, come on. I'm waiting for you to get in the club. I'm waiting for you. Come on. I'm on
there
this
you
side.
go.
Come on in the room.
Yes. So here's what's going on here. With all of that, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I've been a diabetic since 1986. So for 35 years, I've been dealing with diabetes, and I do remember I loved to eat growing up. Raised in the South. I was born in the South Side, raised in Evanston. But every weekend, I was going to that White Castle. Yeah, thank you. I was going to that White Castles on 79th and Stony on Fridays, taking the L on 79th and Stony Island. I got up Saturday mornings going to Thomas Restaurant on 87th, right off of Stony Island. And then on Saturday nights, going to that McDonald's down street on 87th and Blackstone. And getting up in the morning. I remember these things growing up, and still, into sports, working out, things of that sort. But June of 1986, my life changed. And for 35 years becoming a diabetic, I know that I wasn't taking care of myself. Still eating, still doing, just what black folks do. I'll be all right. I take my medicine, I'll be okay. But with all of that, I knew that I had to take, a strong stance on my health. So with that said, 3 years ago, I'm a cyclist. I'm in the bicycle club. But 3 years ago, I had a horrific accident where I flipped over my handlebars and landed on my head and my face.
Gosh.
And I was off for work. I was off for work for 3 months.
Wow.
Right then and there, my diabetes was still was not under control. The doctor told me you need to change your life, you need to change your habit, you need to change your eating. So with all of that, I became a pescatarian. For the past 3 years, pescatarian lifestyle was cool, but I went to a festival called Taste of Vegan in Chicago State University.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say.
That changed my life and eating well. So with all of that, the last year, it was a matter of making that commitment, saying that, well, I'm gonna stop eating meat. Hence, getting on the podcast, listen to everyone on the podcast from Maze down to Toot and Herb. And when you, Cassie, and Brother Sadeek got on board talking about, we're gonna do a January jump off, plant-based. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try it out. Take a chance. You can do it. And ever since then, I've been on it. And this has been the best decision of my life. So that right there is a history of me. And knowing that plant-based eating is not a lifestyle, it's a way of life.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
And I'm just, so in all humility, and I don't want to get like choked up in the studio, but Cassie and a few other people, shout out to Jasmika. I don't know if she's watching. Shout out to Elamad. Shout out to Soul Vegan. Shout out to the Chicago jurisdiction for putting together the Taste of Vegan. But we work on that together. And for you to say that the Taste of Vegan was a life-changing event, just the hours that we sit and plan and work on it, you made it all worth it in that one statement, because it's about life. So I just want to say, Toda, thank you, Ashe.
Adupwe Fa. We thank you, Fa. We thank God.
Yo. Yeah. All we just
we keep it a buck real quick. If I can quote my brother Herb, keep it a buck. When I went there, eating well all this here, I'm not gonna front. One of the things I said, all these fine sisters around here looking good, eating good, all this here. I'm like, look, if they can eat good and look good this here, you know what? This brother about to get busy and throw that health together.
Whatever brings you in.
Whatever brings you in. So, Cassie, mark that down for marketing for Taste of Vegan 2021. Beautiful women help. So Shaka, tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the January group. What did you find helpful? What are some things, if I was looking to sign up, if I'm in the audience now and I'm saying, I want to do this Black History Month meatless, with Sadeek, and Cassie's in the group too. So I want to do it with Cassie and Sadeek. What will they find when they get in the Facebook group? What did you enjoy about that?
What I enjoyed is that everybody had a common goal of learning, to eat well. And if you are a novice, or you are, a person who has, like yourself, Sadeek, has been eating for so long, you have the tools and resources in front of you here. And in order to learn the process or the steps in eating well this here, you got to try it out. You have to do it. Be committed, and have the mindset up. It's not difficult. It's easy. If you like hamburgers, okay, try out a Beyond Meat. If you like, fish, okay, there are certain foods that's out there that you can replace. But for me, what was a challenge for me was that, cooking for myself. I've been divorced for 3 years, so being on my own, it's like, look, I know how to boil water, I know how to make sandwiches and stuff, but now I gotta learn how to cook.
You've been,
And bro,
you've been getting them vegan hot dogs.
Let's keep it a buck. Bro, exactly. All that cool. I know how to whip up the tuna fish and all this here. You know, hey, okay, that's all cool. But you have to change your mindset of saying that trial and error. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to cook. And the way you're going to learn how to cook, well is, all right, it's not going to come out to be here. Okay, you may have a little bit more liquid in your soup. All right, what do I need to do? So the group gave me those resources, for that. Shout out to Jasmika there. I ain't know anything about Slap My Mama season. Oh, now I use that every day.
Yes.
I use that every day.
Slap your mama.
49 years of my life. 49 years of my life. I never had an avocado. Never had an avocado.
Really?
That's my new boo.
Yeah.
That's my new boo. Yes. I love avocado.
Yes.
So I'm getting a lot of humor in this because humor is good for the soul. I'm putting a little humor in it here, but in reality, all of this was me placing the pictures on Facebook. Doing this is saying that here's someone who took that opportunity and say, this is what I'm going to do, mind, body, and spirit. And for the last 30 days, the energy, I feel, energized. I feel, the eating good, feeling good, looking good, all of that, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I see Leo is still in the room. Leo, thanks for staying in the room. Leo's also he's a cigar connoisseur, so I pay attention, Leo. Don't think that I don't. But anyway, I love
my Sora Boosie said,
what
slap your mama the truth.
There we go again, Boosie.
And then she also said, come on,
DST
nephew.
piece. We'll talk about that later. But slap your mama is the truth. The avocados, all you got to do is sprinkle a little bit on it, and you got a snack. Like, literally. You don't even have to make guacamole. Like, it's literally.
Just go ahead and scoop it right on out the shell.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no doubt. It's beautiful.
Be choosy about how you pick your avocados, though, because picking a bad one could be bad.
That's an experience. And so, hey, Leo, I need you and Ruben. Hold on, I would tell everybody
the value of the group is that if you don't know, what do? You ask. If you don't ask, search on your own. So there is YouTube. There are Black vegans websites that's out there in addition to plant-based, African. There's so much resources that's out here for it. So what we've been learning throughout our whole years is that how do you keep knowledge from Black folks? One thing, you keep it in the library because they think that we're not going to research and get the tools and the research and knowledge itself. Yeah. So in order for us to eat well and to put food of thought in our minds, we have to ask. Because if you don't know, you have to ask. And that's what I did to get myself to where I'm at now.
I love that. And let me just say this about Shaka. Shaka participated in everything in the group.
Wait a minute. I don't know, Shaka. Did you do the exercises that I did?
I didn't do the exercises you
minus,
did.
Did you hear that pause?
Minus exercises there.
Okay. So not everything.
I'm on you this month.
That's not okay.
I'm going to tag you
Cassie,
directly.
you put in work.
Yeah,
Cassie,
she did. I tripped in the living room. I tripped trying to do the thing. Just watching you alone,
I busted a sweat.
I was like, this too complicated. Cassie gonna have to do something else. I almost fell and hit my head on the wall.
Hey, what's that house song? Work it. I looked at Cassie, I said, you working it too much, girl. I'm out.
Yeah, you gotta go at your own pace. Cassie will have you,
but
you know what I mean, running into a wall and she got all the little special gadgets. I was like, I don't have that. There's no way I can do this. That's not how any of this works.
You don't have to use them.
So listen, we had so much. There was fun, recipes. As people caught on, they were posting meals. But Shaka was literally a part of all of that. The Zoom meetings on Sundays where we go in and we talk about the week. We do a little education. There's homework in the group so you can get your mind together, and then literally you can call and we can talk anytime when you run into obstacles or you need a word. all you got to do is call the Plant-Based African, and we're there. So I wanted to say, and then I was saying to Leo and Ruben, I know Leo's still watching. I don't know if Ruben had to leave, and those of us that joined us today, because they're first-time watchers of the Green Side, I need my brown brothers and sisters to come on and get in this Black History Month meatless group.
Come on and stay.
Absolutely, come on in the room. So yeah, Shaka, I just want to say thank you, man, for coming on, sharing your story, for being a part of the group. We got to get the word out that we can literally control our health and stand in our choices.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And stand in our power, and we don't have to anymore be a victim to diabetes, heart disease, and any of that. We literally can sit in the driver's seat, and I'm a huge proponent of that, and you exemplify that. So we're going to keep going. We're getting rid of that insulin pump, period.
Yes.
It's a done deal.
No doubt. Hey, are we still on plan for this weekend, what you posted in the group?
Yeah, we still on plan. I just got to, see where we're going, but we on.
Okay.
All right, brother. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shaka. Strong.
Have a great day. We love you, brother.
No problem.
Peace.
Love y'all too. Peace.
Love you. Man, listen. So y'all got to come and join this Black History Month meatless. I've already put the link into the comments. So make sure that you guys click on that, learn about the Plant-Based African, and come join in. Don't hold back.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Cassie's doing, we got workouts in the group, all of that, because it's holistic. Like, it's not just, it's how you eat, it's how you think. And we just want to give you some tools. Yes. I'm a big proponent on giving tools so that we can control our health.
Listen, eating vegan and doing my workouts, I was able to be a Hulk out there with the snow this weekend. And I shoveled for an hour and a half on Saturday and Sunday and wasn't tired.
That's what's up. But that's real. And the whole myth is if you shovel snow, you know what I mean, you're going to be tired or not that you won't get tired, but, heart attack prone. And let me say this, it has nothing to do, the snow does not give you a heart attack. The heaviness of the snow does not give you a heart attack. What gives you a heart attack are the animal proteins that clog arteries.
Oh.
And I'm just saying that so that you know.
Dang, Ron looked up on that one like, dang.
It's not.
That hurt. Yeah, Ron come on, man. Don't do me like that.
I mean, it's the truth, Ron. And that's why you got to be in there with us.
I'll say this, though, too. As a woman, and I know it's some men up in here, y'all will be okay because it's women out there.
I am a man.
Yes, all right. Validation much. Anywho, I will say when I slip up and do eat meat, especially if it's close to me getting my monthly.
Okay.
The pain, the PMS.
We didn't slip up in January though, right?
No.
Okay.
The PMS hits.
All right.
And I get pain. Like the cramps come back. But I remember I couldn't even tell that my menstrual was about to come. Normally we can all, sisters, we know you're going to start getting those little mild cramps are going to hit, your attitude switches, you get irritated. And it's just like even Dre was just like, babe, I didn't know. You usually get a little edge about you right before. He was like, but I had not a clue. It came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, shoot. Oh God. Because the state and the health that my body was in. And let me just tell y'all this, ladies, it also lessens how much flow that you emit.
Absolutely.
So it reduces the flow as well. So
absolutely. So let me say, Cassie, can you put it in one more time just in case people, can we put in the link?
Oh, my phone died.
The link to the group.
If you give me your computer.
Oh, you can do it from here? Hold on, we're going to do this because I want to do this. We got a couple minutes.
Yes.
I want you guys to have the link to the group. There is a cost to the group.
Yes.
The group is $150. If you don't have it all up front, we will take a registration payment. And the reason that there's a cost is because you have access to Cassie, myself, the group members, but we spend time planning this and putting it together. and we just want to have some reciprocity. We love you all, and so that we can continue to do this because it's real talk. It's real talk, right? I have seen diabetes be stopped in its tracks and reversed. Yes. I've seen heart disease stop in its tracks and be reversed. I've seen people's eyesight get better. Mm-hmm. I have seen people's weight go down. I have seen people, I was 284 pounds when I started my journey. And I'm convinced if I had not been on a plant-based diet, and that was at 29, I look better, feel better, and in better shape at 50 than I was at 29. But I'm convinced that I would have had a heart attack, a massive heart attack by now. And so I just shared that. It's a passion, and we want you guys to join. Just try it with us for 30 days.
And I say this, $150 as opposed to thousands of dollars and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in hospital bills.
Wow.
I think that that's worth it. Your health, you got to invest in your health, period. If it's not for you, because I often hear people say, well, I'm going to die anyway. But how you die
quality
and how you impact the other people around you and the lives that are around you make a difference. Because if you are now bedridden, if people got to now change you and
quality of life,
have to, they're struggling with what's going on. Now you've got the onset of all kinds of things. It might take you might have a very slow, painful journey on the way out, and it's not just painful for you, it's painful for those who love you. So don't just think of yourself, think of everybody around you that might have to end up taking care of you because you just don't care.
I love that point of view, and it reminds me of why people are saying they want to take the vaccine. They want to look out for the community and people around you. So let's eat some vegetables for the people around you. Look, everybody, we have to wrap up. We have to get out of here. These 2 hours go so quick.
They do.
We love everybody. Ron, thank you so much. We want to say shout out to the What's in It for the Black People Media family. We have I Said What I Said with Herb and 2 coming after us. And for Sadeek
and Cassiopeia
on the green side of things, we'll see you Thursday. Peace.
WIFTBPM.